You can't make me do the episode if you can't see me. You can't make me do the episode if you can't see me. I'm like a chameleon. Can't make me do the episode if you can't see me. Normally you gotta pay to see something like that. Welcome to Odd Man Sports. I'm your odd host, Brandon, Mr. Limited Perna. I also am the host of That's Good Sports, and I'm also throwing my hat in the ring to be the next YouTuber to throw hands with an undersized former pro athlete. Earl Boykins, Darren Sproles, Kyler Murray, me and you in 2036, what doth thou say? Dinks and Dunks. It is time for the Dinks and Dunks, the segment in this show named for Dinky Dunker Nate Robinson. Question: is it too late for Daniel Jones to retroactively claim he didn't trip a month ago but was doing the Nate Robinson challenge instead? Also, that's when Daniel Jones should have said he had a hamstring injury. Week 12 was without a doubt the 20th week of the NFL season, as the Broncos were forced to play the Saints without a quarterback, which went pretty much exactly as you would expect. The Broncos even turned down my generous offer to line up under center. As an entrepreneur first, though, and a die-hard Broncos fan second, I found the silver lining. I'm officially selling this custom handmade one-of-a-Kendall Hinton kind Broncos jersey to the highest bidder, with all proceeds going to Cam Newton's soon-to-be unemployed stylist. Speaking of silver linings, the Raiders, in a blowout loss to the Falcons, with real quarterback Derek Carr, lost by more points than my Broncos did without a QB. Derek Carr had 3 fumbles and a pick and watched former interception thrower Nathan Peterman handle mop-up duty and proved he's well past his prime of throwing 5 passes, finishing this game without a pick. And Sarah Fuller of winless Vanderbuilt became the first woman to play in a Power 5 game. Yes! Unfortunately, Vanderbilt's inability to get into field goal range prevented a major victory for feminism. That's classic 2020 Mad Libs. As you can see from her kick here, it wasn't exactly a touchback at Mile High, and I'm not positive that kick ever got high enough to break the glass ceiling, but still, it went straighter than Joey Sly's kick on Sunday. And speaking of, in a 28-27 loss to the Vikings, Panthers Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate Jeremy Chinn became the first player to take 2 fumbles for touchdowns in a game since Fred Dippy Evans in 1948. Reading this fact confirmed my suspicions that I'm living in the wrong era, where players have cool nicknames like the Red Rifle, or the Cheetah, or the Stormin' Mormon. I much prefer a league full of dippies and slappies and spankies. Any type of homoerotic undertone locker room prank. Those are the nicknames I like. Speaking of nicknames, the nicknamer himself, Cam Newton, or as defensive backs call him, Wham Bam Thank You Cam, said after the Pats beat the Cardinals that he would not apologize for his performance in which he threw for 84 yards with a 23 passer rating. And Cam still hasn't apologized for stealing the rug from my freshman dorm room. Not to pile on here, but Cam's stylist, who may just be Cam, has so many L's this year, he's tied for first place in the NFC East. The Detroit Lions fired head coach Matt Patricia, clipping another branch off the old Belichick coaching tree. Lions running back Adrian Peterson then picked up the branch, smacked it against his palm and said, "Yeah, pretty good branch." And speaking of the Lions and punishment, last week I argued for the end of the Lions Thanksgiving game. I think that take has aged pretty damn well after they were beaten so bad by the Texans that Lions fans said thank you for getting our coach fired and donated to his foundation, which may actually earn Lions fans a Nobel Peace Prize. We can end global poverty, if we keep employing and then firing Matt Patricia. Money talks. Also known as Brett Favre's defense when he gets tricked into using coded anti-Semitic phrases on Cameo. Brett Favre and technology mix like the NFL and integrity. Today, I have a very simple and important gambling lesson for you. Stop picking all of the favorites. I mean, do not exclusively pick the favorites. You can still pick some favorites. In fact, you should. Maybe about half the time. Last week at FanDuel Sports, here was the breakdown of money on these games. 91% of money on the Giants, 89% of money on the Cardinals, 87% of money on the Chiefs, 84% of money on the Browns, 83% of money on the Raiders, and 100% of the money on the NFL when it copyrights all my videos. Guess what? All 5 of those lopsided bets lost. Every year, squares lean towards the favorites. Why? Because the favorites are usually the better team. Meanwhile, savvy bettors are grabbing the points and all of the money. A word to the unwise. When you see lopsided money, run the other way, as if DK Metcalf were chasing you. Ask yourself, do you think 80% of the public makes good decisions when it comes to their money? If you are answering yes, I have got a timeshare offer that will blow your mind. Remember, bet with your head, not with your heart. Odd Man Out. Today in Odd Man Out, I'm addressing an audience of 1. So Jerry Jones, pour yourself 8 fingers of Johnny Walker Red, Johnny Walker Black, Double Black, Green, Gold, and Blue, and listen up. That, by the way, is a billionaire Scotch suicide. It's over, Jerry. You, as owner of the Cowboys, is not working. It's time to sell or give the team to your son, Don Jr. Steven, sorry. 2 moments in the last week have sealed your fate, Jerry. A ridiculous fake punt, down 4 from your own 20, and then stating that starting quarterback Ben DiNucci was the same thing as the Broncos starting a practice squad wide receiver in Kendall Hinton at quarterback. In similar news, having a pimple on your face is the same thing as having genital warts. Now I'm pretty sure, though not 100% sure, that you personally didn't call that fake punt in from the owner's box. But the guy you hand-picked, Mike McCarthy, did. And when you're an owner with his hands in every decision, from starting quarterback all the way down to the Gatorade flavors, you become accountable. Jerry Jones' wrinkly hands, the worst Gatorade flavor of all time. Although Gatorade made it sound a little better by calling it Arctic Palm. The decision to pay Zeke in a league where running backs don't get paid was a sign that your brain is stuck in the 90s like an ABC Family Friday lineup. And how Dak had the strength to not give you the bird was a miracle. And I knew the Mike McCarthy hiring was a problem when this happened at his introductory press conference.
Well, I mean, I need to confess. I mean, I told Jerry I watched every play of the 2019 season, but I wanted the job. So I haven't watched every play of the season, but it was just, I mean, you do what you got to do, right?
The gym teacher you hired to run your $5 billion business is so dumb, he admitted on his first day on the job to lying to his boss while seated next to his boss. And he's the guy you've entrusted to oversee a 53-man roster in the midst of a global pandemic. The Cowboys' problems, of course, go back long before Mike McCarthy. Too many 8-8 seasons under Jason Garrett dulled the star of this once great franchise. You know things are bad when Steelers are dancing on it for TikTok hearts. And what was the most talked about Dallas Cowboys Stadium moment of the last decade? It was Ellen sharing a meme with W. Cowboys fans are fed up, and a flat screen TV you can see from outer space is no longer an attraction. Jerry's World season ticket holders are tired of plunking down $12,000 a season for a team they know can't win with you in charge. A Super Bowl? A fucking NFC Championship appearance? America's team can't even compete in the worst division in the history of football, where a Colt McCoy-led team holds a commanding lead. NFL owners should be seen and not heard, especially not every week on local radio taking shots at the backup quarterback they drafted. As a fan, the only time I want to hear my owner is when he's running lines with his daughter.
You were really good up there. I didn't mean that in a sexual way, but not that it wasn't erotic.
Oh, that's not his daughter? That's his girlfriend? No comment. No comment. I thought they broke up. I actually think they broke up. Sadly, under Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys have become like the Raiders in the early 2000s under Al Davis. And we all know, hands-on owners just lose, baby. Even when their hands snap off at the wrist due to pre-death rigor mortis. So, sell the team. Sell the team. Jerry Mark Cuban is waiting for you on Shark Tank. And Cowboys fans should be waiting to throw you into a Shark Tank. What? Feeding a 78-year-old man to sharks is just as dignified as starting Ben DiNucci at quarterback. That's it. That's the episode. Subscribe here to The Game Day for a whole bunch of football videos every week.